thought process, I started this academy, Colonel and Commander Defense Academy, in short, CCD Academy. Here I mean Colonel as my guru only, Colonel, and I'm Commander. So Colonel and Commander Defense Academy. That's how the name has come. And so that's a short background about what I was. So whoever has not put your names and contact number, you can kindly put, and then we'll start with this session. This session is part of your Value Talks Career Advisory, and Value Talks is one such organization created by ex-armed forces veterans, and we are creating actually value system into the society. I also got an opportunity and a window to share my knowledge and expertise to young aspirants like you, and you can kindly forward this link, and then people can kindly connect with us as part of this. Once in a month, we'll have this kind of session. In the chat window, again, you can see there is a contact number given for official contact number of CCD Academy, and YouTube link as well as the Instagram ID. You can kindly follow if for your benefit. If anybody is interested, subsequently, you can call us. We can help you how to go about with your SSB process. Now, coming back to the topic for today is that normally when an interview is given, there is a general fear in everyone that you are being assessed. Because psychology, most of the times, candidates does not feel bad because they don't know that they are being assessed, because it is in an environment where you're asked to give your responses to the stimulus, so you don't know actually that you're being assessed. Group testing technique also a similar thing. You are put into a group environment and you are taken to the ground, and then you are asked to interact with each other, and then there is so much of task given in front of you. So at a very conscious level, you are not keeping in your mind that you are being assessed. However, when you're sitting in front of somebody interacting for about 45 minutes, from the moment you entered the hall, you are still aware that you are facing an interview. So there is a fear in you. So today's session, we will crack down in fine parts, like how you can come across or how you can overcome this fear of facing an interview. The same tips can be used for when you're facing your normal day-to-day interview in your college. If you're facing a personal interview, there also it can be very helpful for you. Number one, normally your biodata is what being asked in your civil corporate interviews. The similar format, Armed Forces is asking for you to fill a PIQ. PIQ is Personal Information Questionnaire. Basically, it is something similar to your biodata where you're supposed to fill in that. In SSB, you are supposed to fill 3 sets of PIQ. One will go with the interviewing officer, one will be forwarded to the psychologist, and one will be kept with the office records. GTO does not get your PIQ, but you don't know which PIQ will go to whom. So, point to keep in your mind is that whenever you are asked to fill your PIQ, be patient, look at, read everything, do not assume anything, read and write the relevant information. And the same information has to be repeated in all the 3 PIQs. For example, if your hobby is playing football, then kindly mention playing football. If your hobby is not playing football, just because your friends or somebody has told you, write football, reading books, coin collection, please don't write. Or the previous batch or your friend has got recommended because he has written reading books, please don't do that. Unless otherwise you have the habit of reading a book, please don't write it. Because this you will do it on first day evening, but your interview might happen on 3rd day afternoon or the 4th day also. By then you will have actually forgot that what you have written. If it is genuinely your hobby, you will not forget. If you just for the sake of filling the form, if you fill it, you will definitely forget. Also, before you enter the hall or before you enter the interviewing officer's office, the assessor takes time to read your PIQ, and then he will generally create a perception about you. Okay, this boy or girl is expected to be like this based on your performance with whatever you have written. So with that mindset, you have to always give your correct and detailed information, which you will remember even if somebody is waking you at night 12 o'clock and asking, what is your height? You should not think, and then you should be just able to tell the truth. So that is the amount of precision you should be keeping in your mind while filling this PIQ form. So all three forms has to be as similar to like your photocopies or Xerox. It has to have the same information. Okay. Second, one more information which most of the candidates falter around is in the PIQ form. At last, the PIQ form is already available. Otherwise, in YouTube, CCD Academy has already put one specific video that how to fill your PIQ form. You can go detailed 35 to 40 minutes video, which will tell you each and every column. I'm highlighting one column here is the last column, which is like number of previous attempts. Your board, chest number, and your batch number will be asked. So if you're a repeater, or you have to start keeping records of number of times you're going, and every time what was your chest number and what was your batch number. Once you, for example, if you get screened out or conference out, please come down, maintain a diary and keep it. Carry the diary to every SSB so that it is asked and then you are able to fill the correct data. Why this is very important is that, like, for example, it might happen that you are going back to the same board again. It is possible. Many times candidates go back to the same board. For example, let us take an example of Bhopal. You've been to Bhopal Naval Board once, and after 1 year, again, you're going to Bhopal Naval Board. The possibility of the same assessor being there is high. And if you don't mention your chest number or if you don't mention your batch number, they will not look at the tracks of your previous thing. If you would have mentioned it, they can easily track out and then they can find out, cross-check with your name, and then they will find out who were the assessors of your previous attempt, if you would have written it correctly. So if they find out the previous assessors, they will not send you back to the same assessors. It is for your benefit, not for the assessor's benefit, for your benefit. Because if an interviewing officer has not recommended you last time, if you go back to him, the moment you see, they may remember, or after 5 to 10 minutes of interview, they can easily remember similar kind of responses we heard somewhere. Then if they already not recommended you, then again, the chances of you failing is more. So to avoid that, we ask you for your chest number, so that the moment you give your batch number and chest number correctly, naturally you will not be sent to the same assessor. Similar thing is followed by the psychologist as well as the group testing officer. Like, for example, when I was in Bangalore, if you would have done an assessment with me in Bangalore, if you come back to Bangalore, if you write it like last time before 8 months I came, and then that was my batch number and that was my chest number. If I come to know that I have already assessed you, I will not take your batch. I'll go and take a subsequent other batch so that I don't reassess you again, so that I don't be affected with a false impression, or like I should not carry forward my previous thought process about you, whether what to do and all those things. Okay. It is mainly for you to get benefited. So that is why please maintain a track record of that. All those people who recently joined, you can onto the chat box. You can go onto the chat box. Kindly type your name and your contact number. All the very best. And official contact number of CCDA is already given in the chat box. You can follow it there. So PIQ is a mother document which you have to handle it very nicely, neatly. Your amount of perfection would you like to show there? Please show it there, because first impression is called the best impression. For an interviewing officer, the first impression is your PIQ, not your physical appearance. That is like second impression. So your first impression has to be there. Very good. Similarly, psychologists also, anything you write, if they find sudden ups and downs, they will go back to your PIQ and then they will see, is it because of your background, family background, or your social background? That matters a lot. If it is because of that, then you get an advantage, or otherwise they will unnecessarily penalize you. So keep this in your mind. So one thing is PIQ. Fine. Next thing, how should I present myself to the interviewing officer? You must always present yourself in a formal attire. You are trying to become an officer in Indian Armed Forces. Officer is a gentleman, or if you're a lady aspirant, you're a lady. They conduct themselves with utmost level of discipline, and so you have to dress yourself so nicely that you are able to impress the assessor. All right. So what is formals mean? Then, so for the formals is very simple: a light colored shirt and a dark colored trouser with a black belt and a black shoe, or a brown belt and a brown shoe. Your accessories has to be generally matching. Watch, a decent one, but for interview you will not be wearing any watch. Carry a handkerchief with you, and tie is an option. If you want to wear a tie, please wear, but Don't expect that you are wearing a tie so that you will get an advantage and then you will be recommended. No, it is not like that. It is just an advantage. It's an option. If you want to wear, you can wear. There is nothing wrong. Similarly, blazers, if you want to wear, it is again an option. It is not mandatory. If you wear, you look nice. If you feel confident, yes. Whichever is your dress, which you feel like that will give you confidence, please wear that. That is very important. Similarly, ladies, I hope you all understand. Saris, you're free to wear, but if you're comfortable, please wear. Otherwise, you can avoid saris. You can go in salwar suits or something like that, or you can go in your formals also. No problem at all. So this is done. Now, third, once you enter the hall, your interview, dear aspirants, all your questions will be answered at the last. Don't worry, I will answer all your questions. I'll give enough of time to answer all your questions. So whatever is there, keep in your mind. Definitely, I'll answer all those questions. And people whoever has joined recently can kindly put your name and your contact number into the chat box. Thank you. So now, once you enter the interview hall, the assessor do understand that you are getting some amount of stress. So they might ask you to explain about your own self, like start introducing yourself and then like say something more about it. So when they say like that, when you start saying about yourself, when you start telling about your background, your schooling and all, you slowly get comfortable. That especially that is to familiarize you, because for these kind of questions there is no need to think much. So you'll be naturally telling, my father is farmer, my mother is housewife. So you are not thinking, it is just coming out of your mind. So when you are just flowing, giving the data out, naturally you are being put into a very comfortable position. Once you get into that comfortable position, then only your interviewing officer gradually shifts you to the interview. In this entire 45 minutes, the interviewing officer is trying to understand what kind of personality are you. So he is trying to strike a conversation with you and then trying to find out what kind of personality are you. In the process, he is trying to identify all those 15 OLQs, 15 officer-like qualities. These 15 like officer-like qualities are made into 4 factors. I'll repeat it is like factor 1, factor 2, factor 3, and 4. I'll tell if somebody wants to write it, you can write it. First one is your effective intelligence. First officer-like quality is your effective intelligence. Second officer-like quality is your reasoning ability. Third is your planning and organizing ability. Fourth is your power of expression. Fifth is your social adaptability. Sixth is cooperation. Seventh is sense of responsibility. Eighth is initiative, self-confidence, speed of decision, ability to influence others, liveliness, determination, courage, and stamina. So these are the 15 officer-like qualities which the assessor is trying to look into you. Is all these 15 officer-like qualities will he be seeing? Yes, he'll be seeing all the 15 officer-like qualities. But do I need to have all 15 at very high standards? Not necessarily. If it is all, some may be good, some may be up to acceptable standards. So if it is there, you will be definitely cleared by that particular assessor. Sir, what is this officer-like qualities 15? I'll repeat again. You can cross-check with whatever you have written. It is effective intelligence, reasoning ability, organizing ability, power of expression, social adaptability, cooperation, sense of responsibility, initiative, self-confidence, speed of decision, ability to influence others, liveliness, determination, courage, and stamina. All right. So I have a detailed video already on the YouTube for regarding this. You can kindly go and check it out there. And you can kindly give your comments also there. And if you like that video, you can subscribe as well. All right. So these are the 15 officer-like qualities which the assessor is trying to see. Now, during this process, most of your answers will give a clue to the assessor that what kind of personality are you, or what is the level of that officer-like quality, how you have it. Is it good enough, or is it not good enough, or is it just bare minimum? So with the level of answers you respond or if you give is what matters. Apart from that, some amount of basic knowledge about armed forces you must have. Many a times, many people tell that you must read the basics, but nobody mentions what is basics. So in today's session, I'll tell you what is basics. Basics about armed forces is bare minimum awareness. That is like, we don't want you to find out what is the aircraft, what is the engine type, and what is the fuel use. If you speak that much, it is way too high. What are the aircrafts available in Air Force? What are the ships available in Navy? What are the regiments, guns available in Army? The commands, where it is located, who is the Chief of Army Staff, who is Chief of Navy Staff, who is Chief of Air Force, who is the Defense Minister, how many commands are there, what are the regiments are there, what are the basic duties of every corps, and if any new acquisition or any new aircraft or something is being procured or being inducted or being commissioned, it will be definitely in news. So you can just go through that. What is the rank structure? This is bare minimum expected out of you about armed forces. In addition, it is like, how does the aircraft fly? If you are applying for a pilot entry, it is generally expected at least you must do some amount of research that how does an aircraft fly? If you want to become a naval officer, how does a ship floats? So this you must at least try and find out. It is already available in YouTube, Google. It is there. It is not like it is not there. Suddenly we are asking. We are not going to ask you what is the job of a gunnery officer on board a ship. Nobody's going to ask you that. Okay. Nobody's going to ask you that anti-submarine warfare officer, what is the role, where he'll be appointed. It is not expected out of you. But at least you must be aware that Indian Navy is having some submarines. You must be aware that these are the few aircrafts which Indian Air Force is operating, and you can have one or two favorite aircraft, whatever you want to call it. Like, sir, this is my aircraft which I feel like I should be flying. So this is the basic level of knowledge which is expected out of you. If you read this, generally you are aware. Now the tip which I am going to tell you, which you have to keep in your mind, is the same thing you can apply it in any corporate interview which you are facing. Like, for example, tomorrow, whoever is, how many people are in this session now, including me, it is about 66 people. But the number of people who put the phone numbers are very less. Only about 20. Right. Okay, fine. So all the 66 people, let us assume we all are appearing for a job interview in, say, let's say one of the corporates, Infosys. So we all are applying for the same position. We all are gone and sat in the interview. Now the panel is also facing all 60 people. Now, if one person, and definitely every interview there is one standard question: why would you like to join the organization? Why would you like to join Infosys? This is a standard question. You go for any interview, it is there. So why would you like to join? Okay, a simple thing. Everybody will say, sir, it is good. I would like to see it. If a person says, sir, Infosys is an organization which started in so and so year, founded by so many people, the vision of Infosys was so and so. Within last 10-15 years, Infosys has gone from here to here. It has done a revolution like this. It has created so much of $1 billion of money. It has made life for so many people. And the future of Infosys is planned like this. And Infosys is expected to be in so and so position by so much time. So my core strengths are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with my core strengths, if I join in Infosys, I can develop myself more, as well as my strengths can develop the organization as per the vision. If you say like this, who has got a better chance to get selected in the job interview? Okay. So likewise, if you're applying for Indian Army, you want to become a signal communication officer. Like if you want to be a communication officer, signal corps, then you must be able to tell like generally about Indian Army and what a signal corps does. Or if you are joining engineering corps, then what is the job of engineering corps? What are all things they have done? And as an engineer, how you can contribute for the engineering corps as well as the Indian Army. It is not like, sir, my passion, my childhood dream. This is all boring answers. Everybody says. What unique, nice thing you are able to say. Okay, for which you must read a little. Once you read a little about this, it ignites you. It will make you, it will tempt you to read more. The moment that is there, definitely you can crack the interview at SSB. So these are a few such tips one has to keep in your mind. And apart from that, one more thing which I would like to highlight here is, PIQ, you're done. OLQs, I already told you there is a video, you can go and go see this. Your basic about your family, you have to keep in your mind. Every time people are told like don't tell lies in SSB interview. Yes, you must not tell any lies in SSB, because when you're telling the truth, you don't require to think, because it has happened that way, you are just telling that way. If you're telling a lie, when a cross question comes after 5 or 10 minutes, suddenly you don't know what you said. If I say this answer, then what will be the impact? Then you will give one answer. Then after 5 times, third question comes, and then it gets interlocked. Whenever an assessor gets a doubt that you're trying to stonewall or you're trying to hide something, they will not pinpoint it. They will leave it at that. They will go to the next question. After about 5 minutes, they will come back suddenly and then they'll catch you. By then, you will have forgot that you would have said that, because it is a lie. If it is truth, any number of times, asked any which ways, you will tell that only. So keep this very strongly in your mind. Don't tell lies. It is very clear. So, but can I tell a smart answer? Yes, you can project your answer in a way which is impressive. How? How it's to be done? If you like, there many times I've seen aspirants, they would have played cricket for their club, but they would have not made it to T20. Okay, so you can project it well by telling like I played along with an existing super player, and then you can, so that gives a smart move that you pitch that I played close to him, I was with him, and he made it and I didn't make it there. Okay, rather than simply telling, oh, sir, I played and I didn't make it. So that person will understand, okay, he's just a normal person who tried to do something. Like, for example, if you know KL Rahul, you can say like I was playing with KL Rahul, and then till that level I was playing. So we were playing in one single team. So that gives the level of profession you had in that particular game. So this is a smart way to project your what, not telling lie. Like, for example, I and Rahul played together. I should tell, say I and Rahul played together for that particular team in that time window, from in this year to this year. We played together in that particular team. Thereafter, he made it to team. Fine. So this goes that you are professional so much. That is like, I played for that club, but I didn't make it to the team. Nobody knows that, because there are so many clubs across the country. So this is how you can project yourself nicely. All right. So with this, I would like to wind up this session, and people who have not given your names and contact number, kindly do so. CCD Academy's official contact number and YouTube link is already been there in the chat window. It will be reposted again. You can kindly check.
You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head